I want to make sure because every time, guys, he's playing these songs, and I'm worried I'm going to have Aaron Rodgers or Russell Wilson as my quarterback. Okay, if you're looking for Michigan State, and Dusty May's psychosis, we did that in the opening hour. We just got done with an hour of Lions and DJ Reed and free agency. It's all there for you. I do want to mix in a couple other things, briefly. One of which is I need to ask Kenny a question, and it's not insulting. There's no rake. I watched the Wings Friday night. To say that the third period didn't go well would be like saying the Hindenburg had a few problems.
A couple of mechanical issues there.
Yeah, slight mechanical failures. Kenny, I don't want to be melodramatic, and if you go, Michael, you can't say, tell me. Just shoot me straight, okay? Their season's on the line tonight in Ottawa. A loss, you've lost 6 in a row, and this would be directly to a team that is already jumped you, meaning this would put Ottawa, I believe, 5 or 6 ahead of you. You still have, I believe it will be 11 on the road, 7 at home, 2 against Vegas, 2 against Carolina, Florida on there. Am I overdoing it, or do you feel the same way about tonight?
So if the games we had upcoming weren't like this gauntlet schedule that we seem to be facing on the road, I would say you're being melodramatic, but it's not. The way out for the Red Wings right now, I think they have the hardest strength of schedule remaining of any team in the NHL. And that's a problem because now games like the Ottawa game, the Buffalo game, those become must-win games. So I don't think you're being overdramatic or oversimplifying it when you say, hey, today matters a hell of a lot more than maybe people realize, even though there is still like 18, 19 games left to go, whatever it is. I don't know.
I God forgive me, I think it's 18.
Sure, yeah, okay, 18 games left, and you say, oh, that's a lot of time to catch up. Well, when you play Florida, when you play Vegas, when you play Colorado, Carolina twice. I mean, these are hard teams. It's a hard league, man.
I think what was most embarrassing to me, Kenny, and look, things happen. I mean, I don't mean it in an insulting way, but hockey's a weird sport. You can have a bad bounce. It can not go off the boards the way you expected. A skate, an ass, whatever. Fine. All right, shorthanded goal happened. It was terrible. The point is, Chychrun, however you pronounce it.
Chychrun, yeah, Jake Chychrun.
He was out there like it was the Olympic figure skating. I mean, he was dipsy doodling around. It was like a video game. I mean, it was almost patronizing. The Wings could not stop the puck. They could not get him off the puck. It got so bad late in the game Friday. Rico, I mean this. Like NHL 94, 13-year-old me, and you would force feed the puck on the power play to Ray Ferraro because you just had to have the one-timer goal. Mm-hmm. They did an Ovechkin tribute power play. And every pass was simply to just go over to over, and Ovechkin was 17 beers deep, grip it and rip it. They weren't even good ideas.
No moves, just slap shot.
Blast away.
Just force feed.
Yeah, it's embarrassing.
It is. No, it truly is.
And you know what the problem I have? This is the other thing I wanted to know if I was being unfair. And if people want to say I'm unfair, do it. Washington was the last team in last year. They couldn't score in a whorehouse. They had the worst goal differential of any team in the playoffs, maybe any team in the East. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
They went out and made major changes this offseason.
Yes, they did.
They're the top team in the East.
Yep.
And now, do you know what they present to you? Fun. They score. So, am I wrong that I look at Washington and it angers me more is that they've made this leap that is seismic. We haven't even made a leap to where we're solidly in the playoffs.
Yeah, we were neck and neck with Washington for that back half of that stretch there. They ended up finishing one spot better than us, and we all know how that ended. But yeah, no, they took a monster leap this offseason, a monster difference in where they are in the standings. And we're in the same place we were last year, maybe worse. I don't find any of that acceptable.
No, but I'm saying I'm not being
I think
unfair.
That's embarrassing. No, I don't think that's unfair. I think everything you've said thus far is valid and worth note.
Also, how do we get an Alexei Protas or whatever his name is? The guy's like 7 feet tall. Big power forward. They go, oh, yeah, he worked on a shot in the offseason. 6 seconds later, snipe. I'm like, Guy had 5 goals last year. He's got like 26 this year.
I think a lot of people will tell you Elmer Soderblom is what you're trying to get out of that.
Oh, good.
Big, gigantic guy.
This guy's 6.
Has moves.
That kid's got to be 240 pounds.
Yeah,
the kid for the Caps. He's a
massive.
freight train.
Yeah.
All right, I'm
Guy's
sorry.
a monster. No, you're right about all that.
I'm frustrated. And look, if they win tonight, first of all, they got to stop the losing streak. They got to get this thing back on the rails. I just feel like if they lose a 6-game losing streak, the schedule ahead is outside of that Buffalo game, lethal. The Rangers look like they've woken up. The Canadiens are on a 5-game rip. Columbus, I don't know how they're winning. I'll leave that to Kenny. The point is,
I think it's fairy dust and pick. I have no idea. I have no clue how Columbus is winning. Your best player literally passes away in the offseason. All jokes aside,
there's no jokes. The guy died.
That's crazy. That's crazy that you're in a playoff spot. It's maddening.
And they're a terrible franchise.
Terribly wrong.
Right, but Kenny, that could just be them rallying to the fact that he passed away. And you know what? It's that us versus the world type of mentality. We got to do this for him.
I could see that for a month, maybe 2.
Yeah,
the fact that they're still doing it is absurd.
Right, but when you start winning, it becomes contagious. Look at what the Wings did when all of a sudden you got the new coach and you start winning games and you start winning more games.
They're doing it in spite of themselves. They're not good, particularly on offense, on defense, goaltending.
No,
they have nothing. They do nothing well.
You just believe, and somehow you get the luck of the puck and you win games.
It
makes no sense.
The idea that the Wings right now are behind that team is, to me, maddening.
So what's more maddening? That or the fact that the Capitals looked in the mirror, made wholesale changes, and got way better.
The Capitals.
That bothers me way more.
That bothers me way more.
Because Friday night, I'm live at the world headquarters. Steve Yzerman literally did a straw man. Well, we're not ready to go all in. No one's asking you to go all in. That is such a straw man.
Yeah.
We simply want to make moves to get better. It's the 3rd straight deadline. You're not better.
Nobody was pounding the table for Rantanen. That would have been the all-in move, and I don't think they could have afforded him to begin with. Nobody said that. We were all focused on guys like, I don't know, Dylan Cousins. That would have been cool.
Who's now on Ottawa,
which is also maddening. No, I think the Washington thing is more frustrating to me because you saw where they were last year. They were right there. They were neck and neck.
And now they're Stanley Cup good.
Yes, they're best in the Eastern Conference good at the very least.
That's all. I'm sorry, Rico. I know that this is boring. I needed one segment because Friday really annoyed me.
No, it's not. And watching them, it was just like, wow, this really feels like it's going to be how it ended last year. Especially with the
3rd period
moves.
against.
I mean, sorry, but what happened early in the day when they really didn't make a move at the trade deadline? It was like, And it's like, okay, is this what we're just doomed to repeat history again?
Yeah, and that's what Yzerman's telling you. I'm going to do it on my time. I'm not going to do it until we're ready. Back-to-back 3rd periods you could have put carousel music behind it. That's what it. Come on, man. You don't have to be up at 3 a.m. watching the KHL and taking notes to have an opinion on this, okay?
Correct. And it's not acceptable because you're right, Mike, you said it. Okay, all in. No, I'm not looking for all-in moves, but I'm looking for a move to get us to the playoffs because we haven't been there in so long. I'm not trying to win the cup. Would it be great? Sure.
And look at it this way, too. You've signed Raymond and Seider to their long-term contract extensions. You're telling everybody, all right, so this is the core of our hockey team. These are the pieces we're building around. We need to get those pieces into the playoffs.
You know the problem? Okay. Can I say this without like this being a quote or like you're going to remind me of this every 3 minutes? I'm just telling you what I'm feeling. I'm not ready to pound the desk and say this is the way it is. I'm beginning to question if the core is good enough. That Dylan Larkin is a good player, I don't think he's great. Lucas Raymond, I expected more. He's been fine enough. He has not had the explosive breakthrough. And Mo Seider's very good. But
Mo Seider's a star.
He is very good. But Kenny, I don't know if those three are, along with the cat, DeBrincat.
Yeah,
I don't know that that's good enough.
Larkin is good, not great. Raymond will be very, very good. He's trending to be a star at some point.
I agree. It's just you and I had hopes this year.
I agree, but also let's look at the Tigers real quick. I mean, I feel like we have the same conversation about them that we do with the Wings. It's all right. We got young guys that could be stars.
Kerry Carpenter is a star.
That are right on pace. Right on pace.
It's my guy.
And he's on your fantasy team, right?
Well, I got him this year.
There you go.
I'm excited.
But they need
I
insulation.
love him. He crushes baseballs. I'm sorry. On a team that goes up there swinging a wet ramen noodle, they got one guy that brings lumber to the plate. I like Kerry Carpenter. If that's wrong, I don't want to be right.
No, I think that's a great take. No, but the point being, though, is they need insulation. They need guys around them. And that's what this trade deadline was supposed to be, and that's what last offseason was supposed to be.
Well, you know what? The world headquarters disagrees with you. Okay, we just did the hockey. I needed to do that. I had to have one
You got it
segment.
out your system?
I am. I was very upset because of the Yzerman video they played, and then I'm watching the game, and you're up 2-1. You're trying to steal a game, and the third period, you could have put the carousel music I used to play underneath Lion stuff. It was like, what? And it was the same as the Utah game.
You know
Utah played keep away, like a little kid is trying to get a basketball, and they're just holding them at arm's length, and the Wings are like, ah!
You just see Chikrin skating in a circle. Boop, 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 boop.
Friday it was just like, you know what? I'm gonna leave Kenny alone. But all I imagined was Kenny on the golf cart eating sad pizza.
I have this bad habit of when something bad happens in a hockey game, I take the hat off and I throw it at the TV or throw it in a direction. That happens several times.
I hope you had a lot of hats.
I was only
I
imagining.
picked it back up shamefully, put it back on, and then chucked it again another 5 minutes later.
Kenny is Urban Meyer right now, just eating the sad pizza.
Be curious.